Let's bounce from Indiana Jones and let's talk about China forcing gamers to go to bed.
This story shocked me.
Another reason to dislike the government. I'm going to be real clear. I'm sorry. The government of China, not Chinese people. The government of China is horrible.
Yeah, so this to all of you who invest into Chinese companies, and it's there are some people, if you got some Neo stock or you got some Alibaba or
I invested in Tencent. You told me to invest in Tencent, and I did.
Tencent, right? Now let me just tell you, for those people who, this is proof that those companies do whatever they're told by the government. Because I can promise you, Tencent does not want kids to stop playing video games.
No.
Okay. It is. Yeah. So basically what it is Tencent, video game company owned in China, deploys facial recognition to detect minors gaming at night. Okay. Now, Brian.
Remember who Tencent owns League of Legends, right?
Yeah. They own a lot of stuff.
They own Riot, which owns League of Legends, right?
Yes. They own a lot of games.
Man, they own everything. They own a lot of stuff.
They own a lot of games. So here's the thing. I didn't know until this story came out that kids under the age of 18 were not allowed to play video games after 10 o'clock at night in China. That right there, that stumped me first. I was like, what? So apparently China has this rule because of video game addiction where the government has said, this is another reason why, guys, be grateful you live in the United States of America.
Hear that, children? My 9-year-olds that were up till midnight last night playing Fortnite.
We don't have any kids probably watching this, but my
kids were up till midnight last night playing Fortnite.
I was kind of mixed on this one. I
told them to stop playing Fortnite, and so they listened and they booted up Roblox.
Well, you weren't specific.
I wasn't specific. That's true.
Yeah. So this actually caught me in a weird way because as a parent, I'm like, hey, I would love facial recognition software to make sure my kids aren't on the game when I don't want them on the game. Okay. But at the same time, when the government is forcing it to happen, that's just so un-American. And the fact that China's doing it to keep kids from, that's the parents' job, I think. But hey, those guys are not a democracy. So what do you do about it?
We're going to be talking a little bit about this in the next month or two because there's a game. If you guys know me, I think you guys do. I follow a game called Dota 2. It's the only game I really care about. I care about games, but this is the only game I really care about. Everything else is just sort of a casual thing, but Dota 2 I take seriously. Now, every year there's this massive, huge tournament. Now, they missed it last year, but this year they came out swinging because it's like a $45 million prize pool for like the world championship of this game called Dota 2. It's called the International. Anyways, they're in direct competition. I'm going to be real clear here. For once, I'm rooting for the good guys because Valve, company that owns Dota 2, is head and head with Tencent. Every time Valve has a successful game type like a MOBA or an FPS or a strategy or an SRT, whatever, Tencent buys a company that does it similarly and they copy it every single time. This is like their go-to. Oh, Dota 2 is breaking records. Cool. We're going to buy Riot and we're going to pump a bunch of money into League of Legends and we're going to compete. And they compete across the globe. Here's the worst part of it. This is what Tencent does. Is they go, oh, you want to bring your games over here? We're going to let you, but you have to follow our rules. And they literally impose their rules onto Western developers. Like, you can't have skeletons in the game.
Yeah. No, that's been the same thing with skeleton.
Like a skeleton's too much.
Yeah, no, same thing with movies, same thing with video games. It's all controlled by the government. And we turn a blind eye at it because we want to get paid because there are a lot of people in China. So this is interesting. I love this. One of their problems. So with gaming addiction among minors increasingly becoming a concern. Yeah, welcome, China. Welcome to America. All our kids, all they want to do is play video games.
Yeah.
Authorities introduced
welcome to America.
Yeah, well, welcome to what freedom does. That's why they put so many restrictions on it. Authorities introduced a raft of measures in 2019 to curb such behaviors. They included real name registration, barring children playing between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., and capping purchases on the gaming platform. Now, check this out. What's interesting is they noticed a rash of these things happening. Teenagers stealing money for their accounts, like using their parents' credit card or whatever to steal things, and spending significant time at internet cafes.
Wait. There's still internet cafes in China?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm moving.
I don't think
There's no There's no one. Look, I grew up like I was 18, 19 around the time internet cafes were popular here,
right.
and internet cafes were basically my bars. It was like my Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Brian.
Yeah. I would walk in. There's a fat guy. What's up, Norm? And there's the crack kid over there. I'm like, hey, Ray. You know. And
this is so.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my Cheers. So I miss cyber cafes. I know they're totally irrelevant nowadays, but I wish there was at least like give me a couple big ones that just sort of like never go away. Please, can we do that for sentimental reasons?
Yeah, well, and it's funny because it's not necessarily a wrong thing. Too much game time is not good for kids. Well, I mean, we don't know really what it's going to do because this is the first generations that are just basically growing up totally gaming all the time. I mean, my kids never want to go outside. I don't know about yours.
Oh my God, Shane. Yes. And bro, I almost called you last week. I almost did this thing. I was actually picking up the phone to call you, and I was going to call you and apologize because we there's an account that we share, and it was I thought it was attached to my Xbox still. Right? And I saw a purchase for $99.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't make the purchase. And like, so I feel bad about this. My first thought was my kids bought $100 worth of V-Bucks or whatever they're called in Fortnite.
Right.
And I'm like, now I have to call Shane and explain that even though I disallowed this, it still somehow happened.
Right.
And they took money from our shared account. And I was like, wait, before I call Shane, actually, you didn't pick up. So then I went to research, and it was the stupid Microsoft Office annual subscription.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank God my kids didn't do this. Oh, in fact, that was actually a Shane thing. Shane wanted the annual subscription.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, listen, we need Office, man.
Bro, I was so worried that they just like, but to their credit, they have not. I think that one time they spent $10 asking me, and I lost my mind. And now every time it's like, "Hey, Dad, can we buy a skin?"
Yeah, I save my kids from themselves and just put a code so they can never buy anything.
I put a code, bro. I put a code.
Yeah,
but that's why I was tripping out because like, there's no way anybody should be able to try. But I think the Microsoft Office thing is just automatic on it.
Yeah, no, that one is. Dude, check out this quote. I love this here. Chen Lina, an accounting executive in eastern Jiangsu province, said facial recognition could be a major feature in rooting out gaming addiction. She said her 7-year-old child is a fan of Tencent's popular game, Honor of Kings, and allows him to play for about 30 minutes once or twice a week using her account. She can imagine him playing for longer in the future. No doubt.
Bro.
Right?
Bro, my kids are playing video games right now. The whole time we've been here, they've been in there. One's on their phone in a server with my other kid that's on the Xbox, and they trade back and forth. Dude, we're not even wealthy, and I hooked up Google Home to all my devices. The only way I can get them to stop playing sometimes is I just have to go be like, hey you, I'm not gonna say it out loud because it'll mess up my mic. Turn everything off. If I do that, then everything gets shut off, internet and everything. But then I don't have internet to play my games.
Right. Yours is turned off.
Because imagine, I couldn't even look right now, as an adult. I'm lucky sometimes to get 30 minutes of free time to play video games. I get that. But dude, when I have a day off on a Saturday or something, I play for like 4 hours. Like no joke. It's the only way I can decompress and not murder people during the week.
Well, and you can't play a game nowadays. It's interesting. I was looking at the games of the kids. I mean, we sat down and played some Grand Theft Auto and some stuff. And it's like, you can't possibly play that game for long. You got to play for at least an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
To get anything out of it.
An hour? Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? In some ways as a parent, at first this was like appealing to me. But now I just feel bad for the kids that get half an hour a week to play video games. Like, oh, jeez, what a country to grow up in. My goodness.
So that's interesting. Yeah, I guess China, welcome to the future.
I'm going to send my kids to China as missionaries, and they're going to come back super grateful to live here.
Right?
All right, what'd you do over there? We just worked for 12 hours a day in an iPhone factory.
Oh, but you couldn't work. You couldn't work from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. So
Yeah. All right. Well, that's.
Thanks for watching. To see the full conversation, become a member of the Popcast family. Use the link in the description below, or go to our channel and click the join button. Select your tier, and we'll see you at the next show.